some reach.
Game one.
Her
And
defense,
some power.
Her defense is insane.
0-0-2.
I think that goes well with Parris's power. Brooke on the singles side as well. Even in doubles, you can see she has that power.
Jeez, that's tough. That was such a good look by Zoe and Brooke, and Tyra was on it, and then defense to offense in an instant.
0-0-1.
Zoe's really come together as a doubles player. She's gotten more consistent, figured out her game. I do like to see her be just a little bit more aggressive. She has that Yola paddle.
Wow.
But she's very consistent and has good, quick hands. She's gonna need it when Tyra's reaching in, flicking.
And a good look, but that hit the post.
Yep, when the ball hits the post, it is dead.
Parris and Tyra are starting out straight up. They do play like this more than people think, correct?
They do play straight up until they kind of see a strategy. I'm not gonna give away all the secrets, as you know, I do coach Parris quite a bit, being the boyfriend.
So are you her official coach?
I guess you could say that, yes.
So it's more of a Catherine and Athena situation, where you are the spouse and the coach? How does that work out for you two?
I think it actually works quite well. We practice all the time together.
Great.
You know,
Second serve.
being the guy, I tend to try to hit the ball a little bit harder, and she seems to like that.
1-0-2.
Helps her, especially in singles. Doubles, I would say it's the opposite. She's in practice bagging me quite a bit off her volleys. She has one gear, and that's 100%.
Good pressure in the transition zone there. And a side out with not much damage.
As we talked about last match, seems that wind is definitely a factor. Seems that Tyra and Parris chose the side where the wind's behind them. I think that's a good play because if it goes 3, they end up on the side against the wind, which I think is a benefit.
Point.
Wait for Brooke to be ready on that. Tyra reaching in there.
Brooke's always a tough player to go against. You know, if you see that high ball against her, it's coming back fast. I think Parris and Tyra definitely want to choose their moments to go at her body, keep the ball down, move her around, make her play some dinks.
It's a good pull by Zoe. Looks like they are working Tyra a little bit on that forehand side, as it seems a little bit less comfortable for her.
Side out.
Quick side out. Put a few on the board.
1-2-1.
Ooh, Ernie.
Ooh.
Maybe an unnecessary Ernie?
Maybe. I think she could have taken just one step and flicked that ball, but looks like it
Good
2-2-1.
put Brooke out of position a little bit. We're tied at 2-2. Zoe really does have some sneaky reach.
Good middle close there.
She really likes to not let the ball bounce on those balls, which is smart. She doesn't always hit it the hardest, but she does try to get it at your feet. Parris with the missed ball there.
Good fend off. Ooh, great fend off by Brooke.
Side out.
I think you'll see that quite a bit from Parris and Tyra. Parris loves to crash off of Tyra's drop or drive, because you know Tyra, no matter where the ball is, she can get to it any part of the court.
2-2-1.
Drop. Just a little bit of overcooking it, but a good setup by Brooke and a good move by Zoe there.
What do you think? What do you think the play is for Brooke and Zoe here? Do they want to be the aggressors? Do they want to dink? What kind of game style do you think is going to feed better against Parris and Tyra?
In 2025, no matter who's on the other side, the other team being aggressive is always going to win more. So I think kind of keeping Tyra at bay, unlike we saw there, kind of keeping Tyra in her box and then being a little more aggressive should be a little bit more of an advantageous plan. But easier said than done with two athletes like them.
And two Yola paddles as well.
Second serve.
Well, I was referring to Tyra and Parris as being the athletes, but yes.
2-2-2.
Such a good middle close there.
I think if I'm Brooke there, I would want to speed up more so away from Tyra's reach.
3-2-2.
Definitely more cross, I would say. Tyra can, she's as quick as anyone on the pickleball court, and if you give her some space, she's going to take it. Little let
Side
cord
out.
there,
What a
unfortunately
move.
popped up.
We're seeing some tightly contested points. No one's really pulling ahead too much.
2-3-1.
Nice serve. Oh, that's not the spot.
Second serve.
But I do like how they're trying to implement the drive and crash.
I
Especially
agree.
if Brooke gets a hold of a third.
3-2.
Their drive is so heavy.
Brooke, her and Zoe, both very good singles players. Brooke having a lot of success, winning a ton of tournaments towards the end of 2024. Still doing very well.
3-2-1.
I think that drive and crash is key. Zoe just needs to try to get in and make that right decision on
Second
those
serve.
crosses.
A little bit of a bad bounce there. It looks like Tyra is looking down at it.
3-2-2.
In pickleball, how important do you think it is to really get that first game, especially as the tournament goes on, semifinals, quarterfinals?
I'm impressed with
Side
Brooke's
out.
countering right now on both sides of the body. I mean, I think in pretty much anything, you always want to get a quick and early lead, but it's also nice to know you're playing best 2 out of 3. You know, sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But as we've seen on this court today, I think Zoe and Brooke really have to win this first game just because the sides do seem to matter in this.
Definitely, I would say, are on the better side. So for them to win this game is huge.
2-3-1.
Even bigger for Parris and Tyra to take it.
Yeah, that's such a good play. If I'm that
Point.
though, I'm not getting Brooke
Brooke
returns.
any drives at all. I agree. Backhand or forehand. She's lethal on both.
3-3-1.
Yeah, Parris just made a good decision.
And it pays
Second
off.
serve.
I think Zoe is actually crashing just a little bit more. I think she trusts
3-3-2.
Brooke's drive. Let's see if Brooke can trust Zoe's.
I mean, that's where Tyra is just absolutely the best at. I would even argue she's better than some guys at reaching in. I mean,
I think she has more wingspan than I do, and I'm 6 foot. So it's not always fun not to be able to reach the balls that she can reach. It's pretty insane.
yeah.
And even her backhand flick as a girl, she's just
It's lethal.
so
It's heavy.
powerful.
3-3-1.
And she can get so much whip on that backhand side and forehand side. It's not really a safe place to go. I think Zoe and Brooke really just need to move the ball around, make a lot of balls, make the right decisions. Easier said than done.
Oh,
Second serve.
Longer
it's a
part of
good
the match
move,
there.
and Zoe comes out on top of it.
Zoe still has those good hands. I think she's really got to trust
3-3-2.
it. You just keep getting that ball down so Tyra can't use her reach.
It's a great return there.
That's a great decision as well. Get that ball down. Doesn't necessarily always have to drive, especially with the wind behind you. Let the wind do the work and push it over the net. Still neck and neck here. Parris with the cross and the put away. If I was Parris and Tyra, I think that's your key to winning right there. If they can execute that consistently, I think it puts a lot of pressure on that team. We got a bad bounce on the court there. Very good construction by Tyra and Parris.
Timeout receiver,
And
6-3-2.
smart timeout call there by Brooke. Swept onto a 6-3 lead.
I think a key here for them is that play right there, that driving crash puts a lot of pressure on them.
Point.
As Zoe tries to win the point because she knows the defense is there.
That's a really good play.
I think what's the key here for Zoe and Brooke to try to get back in this match?
I mean, I think they're getting some good looks. They've overswung on a couple counters. I just think they need to start. Oh, wow. Tyra missed her reset. It's insane. Yeah, I think they need to just keep playing at an aggressive tempo and really trust it. And really just kind of pick a bigger target on a lot of their putaways.
I think mixing up the balls well, moving the ball around, not letting Parris and Tyra get a rhythm. As you see there, it was pretty smart. Don't go back to the same spot twice. Keep that ball moving.
4-7-1.
Got that win. She's reaching. Always tough to put that
That's
ball
so
away.
tough. They worked all the way to get in and missed one.
As you can see, Parris really struggling with the win there. Can't really fully swing on that high forehand volley just because that wind is just taking it.
But that's really where they're getting the most success from, is when Brooke is taking the drive and Zoe is going full send on the crash.
5-7-2.
I don't know how you replicate it when they return to Zoe, but they should. I think Brooke just needs to stay after the serve, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what's been giving them trouble.
Yep. They go to Zoe, then poke the volley back to Zoe, keep Brooke a little bit out of it. And we got a side out here, 7-5 with the lead. Stay call here.
Oh, look at this. Brooke on the left.
If I'm not mistaken, Brooke was in the beginning a left side player, if I'm not mistaken.
Second serve.
I don't ever remember Brooke as a left side player, but I know she played it definitely more. But really, the past couple years, she's kind of owned into her right side role. And I mean, she's got a great forehand, why not? And she counters heavy with the backhand. What a good play by Parris there.
It's a good
driving
ball.
Crash.
I think Parris and Tyra, as you can see on that ball, going across the body is, I think, key, especially with a player like Brooke. She can see the ball so well. The ball comes straight to her paddle, she's going to smash it. So if it's coming across her body slightly a little bit harder, put it away.
It's a really good play by Zoe, reaching in, going off pace, and getting the pop-up.
Really tough to reset on that side of Tyra and Parris.
5-8-1.
Just not much feel with that wind pushing at your back.
Oh, she's there.
Wow, lob with the wind.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Wow.
What a good play.
Amazing hands by both players. Insane get by Brooke on that lob.
5-8-2. Point.
And we're thinking about a challenge here.
Gonna do that? Okay.
Not a bad one. They haven't used the timeout yet.
I think that's a smart
Referee
challenge.
timeout.
And we're having a challenge.
The result of the rally is 6-8-2. Proceed to video review. After review, the out call stands, the ball is out. Loss of a free challenge, you have no free challenge remaining. One free challenge remaining. Resume play at 6-8-2. Time in. 6-8-2. Side out.
Tyra with a good reach in there, just clipping the tape and missing. We got 7-8 serving out of 2 here for Brooke and Zoe. Big points for both teams here.
Point.
I think it seems to just be playing a little bit into Zoe and Brooke's power here. They really got to get the ball down, especially on that side with the wind behind their backs.
That's a good close and finish. And a good timeout.
Timeout receiver 982.
As Zoe and Brooke take the first lead of the first game.
All right, here we go. Time in. 982.
That is the best put away in pickleball.
Side out.
That was needed for sure with that 8-5 lead, and now they're down 9-8. They definitely needed and wanted that ball back.
Yeah, a good return there, kind of keeping Zoe in that corner.
I think that's just a tough play with that wind at your back. It's really tough to get that ball down. Got to slow that. If you're going to drive, you got to slow it down 30% power at least. Let the wind do the work. That's a little bit better.
Side out.
A little bit of empty.
Brooke with a good volley, deep. Let's see if they can turn it around here.
They did a good job there, keeping their returns on Tyra, kind of not letting Parris use her drive.
Game of drives with this new lifetime ball. Nice and bouncy and fast.
Ooh. She thought she had something out of the air and then had to recalibrate, which kind of threw it off.
Zoe's doing a good job of looking for those high balls. She's not afraid to pull the trigger, especially against the wind. You have a lot of safety. It's not going to go long, so all you got to do is just go for it. A lot of net courts here. Big point for both sides.
Wow.
Point.
It's a good pull, jamming up Tyra.
10-8-2.
The first game point. And
Tyra really needs to just keep doing that. Keeping big, shrink the court. Key points here.
8-10-1.
They want to get this first game. Wow, amazing serve by Parris right off the line. I actually don't know if she tried to hit it that deep. Honestly, that wind kind of took it.
Right. And smart, Parris takes the third. What a dink. Oh, wow.
Zoe with the good hands, gosh.
It's a good play by Tyra, and Zoe read it. At a big moment.
Tyra's favorite ball is that outside forehand speed up, and Zoe seems to be shutting it down pretty well.
Great. Oh, that is so unlucky. I actually thought that Brooke maybe had a chance there to put that one away.
I thought she might have sped it up, but
looks like she made the right decision, though. And then our game point number 2.
Game point.
Again, that side is really tough with that wind behind you. Got to be aggressive.
Second serve.
That's one hold off here. Let's see if they can get another.
Yeah, they've had a little bit of trouble in the closing moments getting to the kitchen line. I say they just go for a drive right now.
Not a bad drop for Zoe.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's an ambitious pull.
Ambitious at 10-9. Could pay off, could not.
Didn't that time.
Didn't that time, it's okay.
All right, and that's 3 game points now fended off. Parris and Tyra are going to stay.
9-10-1.
See if Parris can get a drive here.
Ooh, rare miss. It's tough, though, when she's coming all the way over and then fending back behind with your backhand, even though she has one of the best backhands in the game.
Roll and drive. Always on point.
What a good dink.
Oh.
Great reaching by
Almost dug her
Tyra.
way out of that. What a good
Amazing
point.
defense actually by Brooke there. Thought she was going to make that ball. Wynn caught it just a little bit off the tape.
10,
And now
10,
we're
2.
back to tied 10-10 on a 2.
This is where that she thrives.
Oh.
They needed a
Side
back bounce.
Brooke with the forehand overhead to switch to a backhand. What was that? A roll drop middle of the court? I don't know.
I think, yeah, it turned out to a roll, maybe into a dead spot, bad bounce. Very unlucky, because usually when I play Tyra Black, I know when the ball goes up, I have a 95% chance of losing that point, and it's so defeating.
And as do I, even in mixed. Don't hit it to Tyra.
See ya.
Yeah.
Second serve.
Yeah, I think they got to get rid of the drop right now, especially they're having trouble moving in. Tyra's really
8-2.
dominating the kitchen line on the force.
Especially against the wind, you really have that freedom to swing big. Just let it loose. See what they can do
There's
at the net
another
with their
high one.
volley.
Oh,
Point.
wind kind of hung that
Again,
one
with
up.
that
Point.
wind, it's, you really got to wait on the ball. The ball's pulling away from you every time you're trying to hit the ball out of the air. Game point here for
Number
Zoe
4.
Brooke.
Another drop. See ya.
And that's an Ernie by Tyra, which she has
Side out.
somehow started to randomly implement into her game. Not to say that she couldn't do it before, but
Yeah,
she
end
just
of last
didn't
year
do
she
it.
started doing it because she was playing with Augie and Mix, and you saw it a lot in MLP, and now she's doing it in women's. She's just such an athlete.
10-11-1.
She's just so fast off the line, so quick, fast twitch.
Oh, wow.
Zoe with the fast hands again with that
Wow.
backhand, really pushing that ball.
Yeah, she's really reaching in well and applying a lot of
10-11-2.
pressure here. Oh,
out.
no, overswung on that
Point.
one. It's really good pressure by Tyra after that drop to close in well. Knotted up again.
11-11-2.
11s.
I think Zoe's really feeling it. I think Brooke backs up just a little bit off the line. If I were Tyra and Parris, I
Wow.
would do more stuff like that. I think that was really smart. They spread both of them. Middle was open.
Soft through the middle.
Pull the trigger right in the middle.
All right, let's see if Parris and Tyra can capitalize on their first one. If Zoe and Brooke have had 4.
12-11-2.
And that's a drive to win the game.
13-11. Change ends.
One of the few drives I saw Tyra take, and it pays off with a 13-11 matchups change here.
Nice
Point.
middle close. And a good initial speed up by Parris.
I think
And
that's
they are
what
gonna-
Tyra really has to do is
1-0-2.
make sure she picks her spots against Zoe. Zoe's hands are fast. She has heavy hands on that backhand for sure. So you just make sure she has to catch her in her right or left hip.
Wow.
As you can see, Zoe with the heavy hands. Not a safe place to go. And it seemed to be a risky play there for Parris, but it paid off. Zoe's still on the ball, but Parris had to get one step ahead there.
Come out firing in game 2.
As I said, you're against the wind. You can have a little bit more leeway to go after the ball, swing through, even on the volleys, even on that kind of shot. I think there's no way you should ever miss the ball in the net on this side. You can always push that ball over. Side out, go 2. Parris with the hands, just full on swinging.
Yeah, she definitely decided she is against, and we were gonna go.
I think that's the one speed that Parris has going for her is 100%. I think this side does give Zoe and Brooke tough bounce there.
So we got really wrong-footed there. So is Parris your coach as well? Is this a dual coachship?
Parris coaches me, but I'm very analytical, so I seem to try to figure things out on my own, but I definitely ask her for help when I need it, especially in singles, doubles. It's always good to get a different perspective.
Jeez, another bad bounce.
That's another dead spot on the court there. We got 2. Yeah, I think it's always good to have someone in your corner to push you, to help you when you can't see something on court. It's always tough. You get that kind of zoning in on the court. You don't really think, you just kind of play. It's good to get some coaching here and there.
Zoe has kind of misfired a few of those counters, just a little bit deep. I think that might be a little bit of the wind, but also it's pretty tough to counter all game long perfectly.
Second serve. Zero, 3-2.
Such a good read. Again, Tyra is just so lethal out of the air. Parris with such a good setup. And Zoe and Brooke kind of come away empty-handed, which is tough, being down 0-3 after holding 4 game points.
Point. Timeout receiver, 4-0-1.
And we are back
4-0-1
on Carvana Grandstand Court. I am now joined by Roscoe Bellamy. Hello, Roscoe.
How's it going?
One of the world's top singles players in the world. And soon to be doubles player, climbing up the ranks there as well.
5-0-1.
Exactly.
John Stanley's football call on center. What a dink. Nice.
Wow, Parris.
Good middle close. And Parris and Tyra have really come out firing in game 2.
6-0-1.
Off to a 6-0 lead. Wow, look at this. We had a switch by Zoe and Brooke.
Second serve.
That hit.
think just wide, didn't hit the body there. Love how we got some color coordination on the court here, though. Parris and Tyra.
Ooh, that dropped against the wind. I thought it was a pretty good leave. Good move by Parris. And
7-0-2.
Tough to come back from this right now. Parris has literally gone full send.
2 points in a row as well.
Yeah, it's pretty much been this whole second game.
It's like the new play in 2025 pickleball. You got the hot paddles now. You got the increased power. You just got to go for the body and pray for the best.
I think Zoe and Brooke are going to have to match. Yeah. Well, that's a good counter.
Second
They're going to have to match the aggression.
Sometimes
I think they got to give up. Oh, wow, look at this. So
0-7-2.
this is new for this team. Brooke is starting to, when they're in trouble, play the left a little bit.
It's the problem with switching during the match is you lose a little bit of that calibration from the softer shots because you're so used to hitting them on the other side.
Good reach right there. So, Rasko, what are your thoughts on this lifetime ball?
So I think it plays very fast. It's definitely a hard ball. There's not a lot of compression in the ball, right? Everyone says, you know, pickleballs, you can kind of press into them, or at least the ball we're usually used to using. This is a harder ball, but I think it's very round in the fact that it doesn't go bad. You're not going to get bad bounces later on in the match after using it for a game or two, whereas some of the other pickleballs you will get that. So I think there's definitely pros and cons to it, but some tweaks here and there could make it a really, really high quality ball, if not, you know, one of the best on tour. So, you know, tennis, we're using different balls at different tournaments. I think we're going to see more of that in pickleball. Here's Tyra.
What a play.
0-7-2.
Wow, good ups by Parris. I don't hate the play. And again, coming out empty-handed for Zoe and Brooke. It's tough when you face this deficit. And that's kind of been the play. They've been attacking a lot from every direction at Zoe's backhand volley.
8-0-1.
Wow, good counter.
Great hands, Parris.
Pretty good. And now 9-0.
9-0-1.
Why not?
Serve.
A little bit of a bold speed up from Pete Todd, but it's in the budget.
9-0-2.
All right, if I'm Zoe and Brooke, I'm thinking this is go time. Big serve, big drives, see if we can cause some chaos and just do something.
Zero 9-1.
Whoa. Is that in? Yeah, no, it was. That's where Tyra is so dangerous.
092. Side out.
And that's a tough point to lose because they were so far ahead.
That's one of those flicks where you're going high up on the body, right? She's sitting there on the counter, so you get her high, but unfortunately, Zoe not ready for that one and taking the hat off, but I definitely don't think it was intentional bag there.
No, not for sure not. I think Zoe knows it as well. Tyra and Parris's hands in defense right now, though, are pretty insane.
Yeah, they're pretty much winning all of the hand battle exchanges.
Wow.
Second serve.
I like that, a little energy from Zoe.
Yeah, down 9-0, a little energy. Try to start something new here. I mean, they need some different looks if they're gonna try to build this deficit back.
Point.
And now we are at pickle point.
9 point.
With a great drive and crash by Tyra.
10-0-2. Point.
And there we have it, pickle point. Parris and Tyra are going to head into the semifinals.
Wednesday Coastal Championship Sunday here at the Veolia Atlanta Pickleball Championship.
All right, up next on Carvana Grandstand Court, we have a men's matchup. Exciting. Christian Alshon and Andre Descu against Jay DeVilliers and Augie Guth.